I am calling in all the way, or I should say zooming all the way in from Norway, where yes, spring is in the air. It's still a little dark here, but it's starting to lighten up, so that's really good. And so today what I want to do is really walk you through some of the different ways that I think maybe Kahoot can put a little spring in your step and hopefully maybe help you kick up engaging learning in the back half of the year for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere. And of course, we have many people calling in from or zooming in from the Southern Hemisphere, so they're just getting their year started actually. So that's great to see. So, every day, millions of students and teachers, turn to Kahoot to really make learning awesome. And we're really trying to support them through not only the Kahoot app, which many of you guys are familiar with already, but also through like a wide variety of award-winning apps out there, such as Kahoot EDU, which I'll come back to in a minute, Math Labs by Dragonbox, the entire Dragonbox suite of apps, Whiteboard, Clever, and more. And this sort of constellation of learning apps continues to grow. And nowhere is the awesomeness and the love of awesome learning more apparent than these meetups, which I really enjoy attending and spending some quality time with you guys. And I will just say, if there's anything we can do to help you make your lives easier as educators, we want to help you. So please drop us a note in the chat and let us know how we can help you. And also, if you see anything that you like today, don't hesitate to share that on #Kahoot EDU Meetup. We love to see that feedback on social media as well. All right, so Kahoot is all about playful, powerful learning every day. And for different people in your schools, that means different things. For all you educators out there, we know that means, awesome, engaging review, but it also means really great end-to-end instruction. And I'll come back to how in a minute. For school admins, that means, of course, giving them the tools to really scale up Kahoot across their institutions. And for students, we know students obviously play Kahoot, but we really love to see students actually create Kahoots and actually demonstrate what they're learning with their peers, teachers, and even families. That really makes us super happy. And so, of course, as Hannah already sort of prefaced, I think, it's, we should just acknowledge it's been a pretty tough past couple of years. And, kudos to all of you out there. You've done a fantastic job. Keep it up. Things are looking lighter now. So just keep it up. And what we're hearing from you now is, of course, most of you are actually back in the classroom face-to-face with your students, which is really great to see. However, you still have some challenges. For example, half of you are saying, closing the gaps in student knowledge is still something you guys are struggling with. And some of you are saying that, getting students to really stay engaged and stay focused is also a challenge. So, that's really important for us to see how we can help you with that. And so I wanted to bring attention to you a product that we have called Kahoot EDU, which is really based around, elevating learning across your entire school or even district. And it really does this in a couple of different ways. I'm only going to go through a couple of things today because otherwise it would take up the entire session, I think, but this is a really great tool. So a couple of things that you guys might be interested in is, first and foremost, it really helps you to deepen classroom learning. It does this in a couple of ways. If you've been using Kahoot before, you know all about, multiple choice and how that works and it's right or wrong, etc. With Kahoot EDU, it really opens up a whole toolkit of new, engaging question types that are, open-ended, such as brainstorm or open-ended questions or word cloud, which there are no right or wrong answers. It just really creates discussions and allows kids to really express themselves in the classroom. So this is also really great for, social emotional learning, and this generally kind of ice-breaking and really kicking things off in a class. We also have some really amazing new game modes. And I will say that this is an area that we're going to be building out even more. So we have an awesome new team mode that's been launched, and we have some great news coming up with that. So we'll come back to that in a minute. We also have, with Kahoot EDU, you're not limited to just making Kahoots. We actually have a new, what we call courses feature set, which allows you to actually add, PDFs and videos and stack Kahoots together and really create a lesson plan that, your students can use either in the class or use student paced, by themselves later. So a lot of really great tools in the Kahoot EDU toolkit that can help you guys out just to make things a little bit better. In addition, and here I'm really interested to hear back from you guys, Kahoot EDU and Kahoot in general really can be used to really, help build your school community and school culture. And there's a couple of different things that we see, school leaders, school admins, and teachers, of course, doing, using Kahoot for. The first is like memorable sort of professional development. This GIF is really showing this well, where folks are coming together, they're learning about new things with Kahoot, having a good time. So that's really great to see. Also sort of spirited school assemblies. And then we have some like new, I'll come back to this, we have some cool theming features coming out that are, really making this more custom for your school and even more engaging. And the last, but certainly not least, is doing those sort of outbound, community building parent events. We have many educators all through COVID actually were actually running like events towards the sort of wider community around the school all through, for example, Friday Kahoots. So these are things that you can do with Kahoot that's sort of above and beyond what's in the classroom. And again, I would love to hear. I mean, if you're doing any of these things today, we want to learn from you. Drop us a tip in the chat and let us know how you're using Kahoot to really build school culture and community. The other thing that we're hearing, of course, coming on the backside of COVID is that we are seeing, this is another tough one. A lot of schools are experiencing teaching staff shortages. In fact, 3/4 of our Kahooters are saying that their school has experienced this in the last 6 months. So that's obviously a fairly alarming number. So hang in there again, and that's really tough. And I wanted to share a little bit of good news or try to help you guys a little bit. Again, with Kahoot EDU, some of those cool things that I just showed you, we do have a free trial available for 60-day trial available till the end of March. So if your school is struggling or needs a little extra bump in engagement, then feel free to try this out. And it's, there's no obligations at all. You can just give it a shot. And there is, we have over 5,000 schools just in the last couple of months have actually taken this up and are trying it out, and they are really enjoying it. So please check it out. There's the URL right there, which is, I think, the longest URL we've ever made, kahoot.com/schools/hey school admins. But you can also just log into the platform, and then there'll be like a banner that you can click on and learn more about how to take advantage of this Kahoot EDU support program that we have set up. All right, so I wanted to switch gears a little bit now and talk about maybe some of the new, some of the new features that we have coming out right now. So let's jump into that. So first, I've already mentioned this, but I wanted to go over it in a little more details, is themes. So I want you to think, like, when you're going into the Kahoot creator and you're going to create a Kahoot, obviously you're adding questions on the left, and that's all really great. But now there's another dimension to Kahoots, and that's, of course, to add a theme. So you're adding your questions, and then you're going to add this engagement layer with theming. We're going to actually play some Kahoots a little bit later today with a really cool St. Patrick's Day Believe theme. So just imagine that you can create themes like that, which will allow, of course, the engagement for your students and peers to really take that to the next level. So we're really excited about this. And we would love it the next time you log into Kahoot to actually think about, okay, I'm making my questions, my slides. What else can I do here? It would be great if I could add a theme. We have some free themes that are there. We have some theme packs. And if you are on Kahoot EDU, you can do like whatever you want. Basically, you can add background images, you can add your logo, you can add contrast colors, so you can really go for it. So we're really excited about themes and how they're really going to help make the Kahoot experience your experience for your school and your students, of course. The next feature that we have is the new team mode. So those of you who have been using Kahoot for a long time know that we've always had a shared device team mode where people would sort of huddle around one device and play. And that's been, great. But then, post-COVID, we see a lot more schools doing, one-to-one devices, or they're still doing sort of hybrid, and some kids in the class and some kids are, potentially at home. And for that, that sort of high flex model, we have something else. It's a new team mode where it's all sort of based around sort of one-to-one devices. And we're really excited about this because, we think that, Kahoot is really a social learning platform at the end of the day. And we really believe that, team mode can really be a really great way for students to get together and, develop those 21st century skills. There's just communication and collaboration, and really sort of feel good together about what they're learning. So we love that. And what we've done is we launched this in the fall. We listened to you, we learned quite a bit. We did some, class visits where we could, of course. It's not been that easy lately. And what we learned is that, of course, you guys want more teams, maybe not so surprising. So we've added more teams to the basic version of Kahoot, the free version of Kahoot. So that should give you a lot more ability to really build out a good game. And for those of you who are sort of more on upgraded versions of Kahoot, you can do like customized stuff. You can change the names, you can move around players, you can even do more cool stuff. So, if you've been playing Kahoot every week and you've been playing the single player mode, hey, why not change it up? Try team mode. I'm sure your kids will love that. They'll love the variety. Let us know how it goes. We would love to hear back from you. All right. And so for those of you who have been sort of following Kahoot for the last, year and a half, know that we are sort of really trying to build out our platform for more and more learners around the world. It's really important that we, of course, not all learners have a grasp of English. So obviously we need to localize our product into more languages. And we started doing that. We've done a pretty good number so far. We've done, Japanese, Turkish, Polish, Dutch, Spanish, of course, Portuguese, French, Norwegian, German, and Italian. And now I'm happy to say that we're launching simplified and traditional Chinese, as well as Arabic. So you can see that here in these images. So that's super exciting. So if your native language is one of those in your country, you should consider switching over to your native language and giving that a try and giving us the feedback. And hey, if you don't see your language there, hey, give us that feedback too. We would love to know what we should put on our list next. As I mentioned, we are really all about this global learning and really trying to make it our product as accessible as possible for those learners out there who don't have command of English. Great. And as I mentioned at the beginning of my presentation, Kahoot is much more actually. A lot of people, they start using Kahoot for more like the quiz review, the engaging review, but we actually have many, many more apps. We have a really great set of learning apps from a company called Dragonbox. This is a team of learning experts inside of Kahoot. They are fantastic. They're so skilled, and they come up with a lot of really cool apps around arithmetic, algebra, and we've had this gap over the last couple of years around multiplication. Parents have reached out to us, teachers have reached out to us, says like, hey, we really need an app that really helps my students, sit through the rote learning of the times tables. It's difficult. Kids don't enjoy it. It's not very fun. So we wanted, that was, challenge accepted. So we decided to make this multiplication app. And we're really proud of it. We think we've put it out on the market a couple of weeks ago, and it is, people love it. They think it's super good, and kids are enjoying it just as we hoped. There are, as you can see, some of the images here, there are like 30 odd mini games inside of the product. Kids advance. It feels like a regular game that they might be playing. They won't even know they're learning, as you might expect. So the best part about this, it's free to play. So they can just play it. It's just go for it. And so I definitely recommend all of you teachers, if you want to give it a try, you can, just download it from Apple App Store or Google Play. Again, free to play. And if you happen to be on a Premium Plus or Kahoot EDU, you do get some child profiles as well. And I promise you, we're looking at ways on how we can take this to your entire class for back to school. But for now, check it out. It's amazing. You're going to enjoy it. Your kids are going to enjoy it. It's going to make multiplication fun again. All right. The next is Kahoot Kids. So Kahoot Kids is something that we launched very late in the year, December last year. We launched it on iOS first, and now it's coming to Android. So basically what it is we created an entire experience inside the Kahoot app, mostly geared to 2 to 7-year-olds. We really love it because it's all about sort of sparking the curiosity for learning with these young learners. It's very exploratory. And what we've really done is worked to create a very safe, custom. We've basically curated and created all of the content inside of the product. So it's basically airtight and super safe. And we really are trying to leverage sort of world-class read aloud technology. So there's, of course, pre-reading, kids who are just sort of starting out, they'll really benefit from this read aloud technology. And this as well has also been, expanded into many languages out there. So please give that one a try as well, and let us know how you feel about it. It's also available via the Kahoot app. Kahoot Kids, super cool. All right, so that was a few things that's on the plate for this spring. There are, just to sort of cap them off again, we had the engaging themes. So there's the free themes, the theme packs, and the custom themes. Most importantly, when you log into Kahoot to create a Kahoot, think about how can I make this even more engaging with a theme. We have the all improved team mode. So, one-to-one devices, and now we've sort of built that out and given you even more teams in basic. We've even given you some functionality to actually customize your teams by changing the names or moving the players around. We've added more languages, and feel free to, of course, let us know again if we're missing your language. We're on a mission. We want to make sure that we can cover your learners as well. And then we have some new learning apps that are, free to try, free to play. So give those a download. And we would love to know what you think about those. So that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope you found something in this list that really will help put some spring in your step and hopefully make things a little bit better this spring. Feel free to reach out to us anytime and let us know how we can help you out. And with that, I think I'm going to pass you back over to Hannah, who I believe has something to share about the community. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Sean. Hearing all of the different ways that teachers are already using Kahoot in the comments and in the chat, I was just following along to so many educators. One amazing aspect of kind of getting involved and staying involved with Kahoot learning is through one of our amazing educator and teacher communities. One of them recently just relaunched, and I'm super pumped and excited to see a lot of familiar names in our participant list today and sharing and chatting on Zoom with us. But our Kahoot ambassador community is one way that educators from around the world can really get involved and stay involved, but also feel comfortable, acclimated, and build that expertise with all the new Kahoot features and upgrades that you shared about. So being involved in our ambassador community kind of gives like the first perspective and first look at these new features. And we hope that that helps educators even spring ahead much more in all of these new tools. So thanks for sharing about it. And if you'd like to kind of learn more or even start your application to be a Kahoot ambassador, we encourage you to join us. It's an easy step-by-step application, kahoot.com/ambassadors. And we hope to see you on the podium in that collaboration and contact too. Thanks, Sean.